This is breaking news from ABC4.
Good evening, everyone. Breaking news tonight, a major oil spill after a tanker rollover.
The truck driver said he swerved to miss deer in the road on Highway 40, 8 miles from Heber, and then he just lost control. ABC4's Buddy Blankenfeld is there live. And Buddy, how much oil are we talking about?
We're talking about 4,000 gallons. Now, this is, if you look behind me, that's part of the mangled mess that was left by, that's part of the trailer that overturned. If you go over here, you can see part of the guardrail that it took with it. But this is where it ended. It actually started about a half mile up Highway 40. Now, that's where this Flying J tanker truck's pup trailer overturned on its side. The driver told investigators he thought he lost the trailer and drove to a safe area to pull over, but the trailer never disconnected. In fact, it hit a guardrail which tore open the tank and spilled oil all over that half-mile stretch.
The driver alleges that he was trying to dodge a half dozen to a dozen deer that were in the road when he came around the curve. What we'd like to tell people is if there's something that's not larger than your car, you're better off to just hit it.
Now, that driver told the troopers because of the number of deer in the road, he believed he would have lost control if he did, in fact, hit them. Now, what you're looking at right now is they're bringing that oil-soaked sand that they put on the road, they're putting it in that container, and that container is going to a hazmat landfill. So very, very messy situation here, and they caution drivers that when it rains again, they need to be very careful on this stretch of road because the oil will resurface and make it very, very slick. Back to you.
Good morning. I don't think any of us really thought of that factor. And Highway 40 is closed between Heber and Daniels Summit. That's about a 15-mile stretch of road. Troopers say one lane of traffic could be opened shortly. A criminal investigation is now.
One lane in each direction of a Utah highway is back open tonight after being closed for hours today. That's because a driver hauling 4,000 gallons of crude oil crashed late this morning. It happened along Highway 40 in Daniels Canyon when UHP troopers say the driver swerved to avoid hitting wildlife. This is all that's left of the trailer after the driver rounded a corner to a heart-stopping scene.
Stated that he was trying to dodge half dozen to a dozen deer that were crossing the road.
When he swerved, the rear trailer went off the shoulder. He struggled to regain control, but couldn't.
The pup trailer rolled onto its side, took out quite a few feet of guardrail, tore open the pup trailer.
That trailer was hauling about 4,000 gallons of crude oil, which spilled all over Highway 40.
There was some spill into the river, not very much.
The oil congealed quickly due to the cool temperatures, and crews were able to contain most of it with loads of sand before it went into the river or seeped into the ground.
Just trying to get it off the road and also from under the guardrails. There's some that spilled onto the culverts.
The oil damage was minimal and the driver wasn't hurt. Troopers warned drivers to pay attention, especially in a canyon like this where there is wildlife.
In a situation like this, if you come upon something that's not larger than your car, quite frankly, your best bet is to go ahead and hit it. On a winding canyon like this is, you're going to roll off and do a lot more damage than just hitting the animal.
Authorities believe the full cleanup will cost up to $500,000. Drivers using Highway 40 should be extra careful. When it rains, the oil will resurface, making the road slick. The driver was not cited today, but the investigation is continuing.
Utah's roads are full of holiday travelers.
We've had a lot of extra traffic, especially yesterday. A lot of people heading out of town.
We're not even halfway through the weekend, and already 2 deadly accidents.
We have had a couple fatalities on the freeway already this weekend. We're hoping that's come to an end now.
This one, near the Utah-Wyoming border, killed the driver of this sedan instantly when the semi flipped. Troopers say the driver of the sedan was likely intoxicated.
It's a mess as far as the cleanup. And obviously with any kind of injury or fatalities is never good.
With 2 more days to go on this Memorial Day weekend, Authorities ask drivers to be cautious.
Just slow down, take your time getting wherever you're going. Don't drink and drive. Use a designated driver. Call a cab.
Now, last night, UHP performed a DUI blitz. Brian and Katie, they arrested 24 people who were intoxicated. That's a really high number for any holiday weekend. So again, they're asking everyone just be smart, be safe, and don't drink and drive. Back to you.
Boy, if it makes us safe out there, a blitz is great.
Yes.
By me. Way to go. All right, thanks, Jen.
Sure.
2 men are in serious
have been found. We expect to learn more about this at a news conference scheduled for tomorrow. Well, they are serious this year about fireworks laws in Sandy. The fire department is going to be patrolling on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday this week from dusk until midnight. They'll be looking for people using illegal fireworks. Each citation will come with a minimum $500 fine. Maximum is $1,500.
The fire danger is so extreme right now that we have to take it serious, because we've been lucky in the past and we haven't lost a house, but the time is coming where it's actually going to happen.
Sandy Fire is enforcing a zero-tolerance policy this year. If you cause a wildfire with illegal fireworks, you will be held responsible for the cost of putting it out and face prosecution. Last year, a wildfire in Sandy cost nearly $300,000 to put out. Well, statewide, there are lots of fireworks restrictions you need to know about.
Here's why. Police say ignorance isn't going to get you off the hook. Fox 13's Cade Carlisle has the details.
It's a heart-pounding moment that happens over and over again.
We step it up during this time of the year because there's a lot more people up there buying fireworks.
Trooper Cade sees a continuous flow of people packing their trunks with illegal fireworks purchased out of state.
Do you guys purchase anything while you're up there? Fireworks?
We did not purchase any fireworks.
Possession of illegal fireworks is a Class B misdemeanor. Penalties include a $1,000 fine and/or 6 months in jail. Trooper Brenchley says he'll do what it takes to keep them out of Utah.
If you save one house or one injury or whatever, that's good enough for me.
Every year around the 4th of July and July 24th, the fire departments are pretty busy responding to either brush fires or trash fires.
Fire officials say fireworks can only be set off from July 1st through the 7th, and again from July 21st to the 27th for Pioneer Day. They say the best way to do it legally is to purchase your fireworks in Utah.
If you purchase fireworks at an approved fireworks stand or grocery store, they've been inspected by the local fire departments before they're open for business.
Authorities say it's not about spoiling anyone's fun. It's about keeping people safe.
We don't. We're not that bad. It's a law that we're definitely asked to enforce this time of the year, and I'm glad to do it. It's part of the job.
Cade Carlisle, Fox 13 News, Utah.
This map shows all the areas in Salt Lake County where it's illegal to light off fireworks at any time. For a more detailed look, head to myfoxutah.com and search fireworks restrictions. We will also have a link where you can find out about restrictions in other counties. And tomorrow morning on Good Day Utah.
Exciting. Meanwhile, we should talk about the White House press briefing that Robert Gibbs gave just a few moments ago. He is the new White House press secretary, and he was wearing a new White House pass, and he said he still hasn't figured out how to log onto his computer, but he says all the keys on the keyboard are intact, which is a little wink to the Clinton administration, accused of taking the W's off the keyboard when George W. Bush came into the White House. He couldn't say if President Obama was still using his BlackBerry. He was going to try to find that out for reporters, and he expects that the president will spend some time in the Oval Office today, but it will be a brief visit. After all, he has a very busy schedule coming up tonight with 10 inaugural balls. So it's going to be a whirlwind evening for President Obama and Michelle Obama. Unclear if the girls will be attending any of these inaugural balls. They actually should be home doing their homework, but that's me as a mother. There we have Vice President Biden walking part of the parade route. He looks like he's having such a great time with all of this, Bob, doesn't he?
Well, he really does. You know, I mean, we talk about what a
surprising thing this is, Barack Obama and all of that. But I expect there was no one more surprised than Joe Biden to realize that he was going to be walking up Pennsylvania Avenue today. He ran for president. He didn't do particularly well in the primaries. He was ready to go back to being chairman of the Foreign Relations Committee, which is a very important post. And then kind of out of the blue, here we had Barack Obama ask him to be on the ticket.
His blue-collar appeal, the fact that Pennsylvania voters love him and they weren't